Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. This is my first video and stream for the year 2025. So yeah guys, let's get this stream started. Let's talk about, this is going to be a free-for-all stream. We can talk about whatever, future of my channel, future of the year, and so on and so forth. So we can talk about anything you guys want, as long as it's appropriate. I don't think I need to mention that, but I feel that I should still. Anyways. Yeah. I hope everyone had a great Christmas and actually, yeah, maybe even Thanksgiving too. I can't remember the last time I streamed. And New Year's. I hope everyone had a great New Year's. So yeah, guys, I'm just gonna wait for the chat to pile up. Let's see. Hey Dan. It's good to see you. Not much. It is 2025, obviously. I'm just trying to do a whatever stream. Um, if you guys have any questions, just let the chat flow a bit. Like yeah, if you guys have any questions about the future of this year, but also my channel, like yeah, like I said, this is kind of a free for all stream, more or less. So there are a couple of things. So obviously, as you guys know, Last of Us 2 is coming out fairly soon, and I am going to be reviewing that on my channel as well as some movies this year. I plan on reviewing, and I also plan on reviewing Stranger Things season 5. I plan on doing some streams on that. Hey, Mega Matt, thanks for coming. It's good to see you guys. Yeah. So yeah. Man, it's crazy. We have. I wish Foxcars would be a movie. Yeah, I wish it would be too, David. I love Foxcars, but unfortunately, Caitlin just simply does not have the budget to do a Foxcars movie, and also like the time. Like it would take a lot of animation and work to make a Foxcars movie. Yeah. So Dan and Megamat, if you guys have any Walking Dead questions or any other questions, just ask them, and I will answer them. Let's see, who would get your vote for president? Nope, none of them. um, you seeing the you seeing the new 28 years later? I might check. Great question, Dan. I might check it out a little bit, but I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna see it in theaters. But I'll definitely like check it out. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's definitely something like that interests me a little bit because like 28 years later, um, that is something that like I'm pretty sure even the Walking, I mean, besides the comic books, I'm pretty sure the Walking Dead has never even really gotten that far in the comic in the show. Now the comics ended 30 years in the apocalypse, so it would be kind of cool to see that in a live action. Like, what does the world look like 30 years after an outbreak? You know, um, so I definitely want to, um, I definitely want to like check it out a little bit, but not like you know what I mean, like I don't plan on seeing the movie in theaters, but I do plan on checking it out. You know what I mean? Great question. Excited. Hey Shook. Yo, how's it going? Pretty good, pretty good. Um, I'm just trying to stream right now. Oh wait, I should probably go on the channel. But yeah, guys. Uh, Hold on. So wait, hold on. Let's see. Is it going? Yeah, yeah, Shook. Like I said, I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. We got all of 2025 to do things. So yeah, let's we got a whole year of things to look forward to. Nope, not excited. I'm always loved to make no lash. Yeah, no lash is fantastic. I agree, dude. Um, I love it when you make videos on that. Let's see. Dead City, I'm ready for. Daryl is just meh for me. LOL. Yeah, I had a feeling, Dan, because I know that season 2 was very disappointing for a lot of people. One of them is Copper and Todd and Fox Stars. Yeah, I remember that. Daryl's just left me disappointed. What's going to come out first? Grand Theft Auto 6 or Dead City, joke? Um, I I feel like Dead City, even though I'm not watching it, I feel like Dead City is going to come out in summer. I really do. I really feel like it's coming out in summer. Let's see. I'll let the chat flow a little bit. What the heck is up with my profile? Um, Season 2 was whack for real. LOL. Yeah, no Rick Grimes content this year. I agree, Rick. Sadly, there is no Rick Grimes content. I got Sims 2 on my laptop. Yeah, that'll keep you busy for a while. Uh, no Walking Dead in February. Lame. LOL. Yeah, Dan. Yeah. The fact that if they haven't given a release date for Dead City season 2, it is not coming out this February. There is just no way. Um, Realistically, it just wouldn't work. Also, guys, how crazy is it that we're now entering like a full year since the Ones Who Live started? Like, isn't that crazy? It's like basically been like almost like coming up on the 1 year anniversary of the Ones Who Live. Like, The Walking Dead has been done for 2 years now, and then like by the end of this year, it's going to be 3 years. 2025 is my Walkway reboot series. Yeah, that's cool. Walker Dead. Um, yeah, guys, I'm currently streaming on the voice channel. So if you guys wanna talk, just let me know. Let's see. Time went by fast. It sure did. Thank goodness we have your reboot series. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see Walker Dead's reboot series. Mostly at the end with like General Beale and stuff, but yeah. 2005 and 2025. Yeah, that's just crazy. It feels like years just came out not too long ago. LOL. Yeah. Let's see. Reboot series destroys AMC's poopy Walking Dead 20. Real. Yeah. You guys watching Severance season 2 in a couple weeks? I don't think so, Shook. Let me look up what that is. Severance. What is it? American Psycho Television. Oh, it's a series. I mean, well, you said season 2, but I don't know why. Like it looked like a movie for some reason. That's why I was kind of confused. But like, so is it like The Office? Like they're in a work environment, like an office, mystery, sci-fi, thriller. Huh. Okay. Um. Interesting. So good. You gotta check it out. Interesting. Hey Noah, it's good to see you, man. I think it's been a while. I make videos. Let's see. All right. Severance. Oh, it's like Severance pay. Um, been watching Dexter, new episode of the prequels coming tonight. Been loving that. Yeah, I know you've been loving that, Dan. I'm honestly just surprised how many shows you're doing. I feel like I'm trying to remember the last movie review you did. Like you're doing so many shows right now, and I'm like, it's so funny because like now I'm just like, man, like Dan, how do you keep up with it all? Because like, you know what I'm saying? Like I can barely keep up with a few shows, but like you're doing like so many shows. Let's see. Streaming, go live. I thought I was live. Hmm. How's it hanging? Good to see you. Yeah, I'm pretty good, Noah. Been trying to oh, okay. So did some parties, New Year's, I did Christmas caroling, I did a Sunday school lesson at my church for the first time ever. By the way, guys, thank you for the likes. Appreciate it. And coming tonight. So I did a Sunday school lesson at my church. It's the first time I ever did it and spoke up in front of the Sunday school. Because normally I don't really do that because I'm kind of more shy, you know. So there's that. I could see Dan doing a movie. I hope so. Walker Dead. I would like that. That'd be cool. Because it's a great movie. I love it. Severance is a technology in the show that splits your memories between work and regular life. Oh wow. Yes, sir. LOL. I like to expand the content much more to review this year. That's crazy, Dan. You're already doing so much, but I guess it kind of makes sense because right now with Walking Dead, like you guys are only gonna get like Walking Dead fans are only gonna get like 14 weeks of um yeah, it's only gonna be like 14 weeks of Walking Dead. And expand. I can definitely do that soon. Walker Dead. That's awesome, Dan. I can't wait. I will definitely check out that review. Because it is that Puss in Boots: Last Wish. It might be my number one animated movie of all time. Like it is so good. You know. Yeah. Like I'm just gonna say this. Like even though I'm a huge fan of Zootopia, like that Puss in Boots has a villain, a true villain. Like that's one thing I'll say. That's like I'm just telling you guys. Like, uh, okay, true. All right, so I'm trying to think of is there anything? Hmm. I'm trying to think of is there anything else? Oh, so here's another thing. I know there's a new movie about there's a new movie called Werewolves that came out um last last month. I don't remember the actors, but yeah, I can't wait for that either, Noah. And yeah, you should definitely watch Puss in Boots. But it was called Werewolves 2024, and I don't know if you guys have heard the movie, but it's about like one night millions and a billion people turn into werewolves, and then this movie takes place 1 year after that, and this guy needs to survive with his sister-in-law and niece a night where people turn into werewolves and all that. And like the movie is so ridiculous because I don't know if I want to spoil it. Like, it really just depends. But one thing I'll say is that, like, good lord, like the werewolves look terrible. Like, they look like Muppets. It looks like they put on some ugly suits. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it looks like they put on Halloween costumes. Like, have you guys like ever seen those werewolves for trick or treating? Like those kids, that put on a werewolf mask for trick or treating. That's how they looked in the movie, and it was so bad. Like, and the movie did terribly. Like, oh my goodness. Like, it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, see, Hollywood, this is why you're not doing so good. This is why. Oh, and as if that wasn't bad enough, more Hollywood problems. So apparently, did you guys know this? There's a new Spider-Man TV show coming out on Disney Plus or whatever, and apparently, you guys saw it, right? Norman Osborn and Harry, they're gonna be black, like African American in the show, and nearly every character, like it's the funny thing is Peter is gonna be like the one white guy in the show, which is just, um, yeah, like I don't need to explain why, this is ridiculous and just a terrible idea, like, my goodness, this is not what Spider-Man's about, like. Yeah, I don't know what Disney's doing, man. Like, I'm just letting you guys know that. If you guys didn't know that, I'm just curious on your thoughts. Let's see. What's it like being a kid in 2000s? Because I grew up in that area. Are you asking me? It was all right. I watched a lot of Ed and Eddie and Courage the Cowardly Dog, which, if you guys like scary if you guys like scary cartoons, Courage the Cowardly Dog is the number one scary cartoon for kids. No joke. Straight up. Like, yeah. Squid Game season 2 is also amazing. Yeah, Dan, I heard it's amazing, and I heard that season 3 was going to be the final season. Is that true? I heard Squid Games is going to end in season 3. The Egg Game season 2 was can't wait for the third. Oh, right. Yeah, you just answered my question, Walker Dead. Thank you. Yeah, I heard season 3 is going to be the final season. See, that's what I mean. Even though I'm not into Squid Games, this is what I love about TV shows. Like, they just do a few seasons, like Stranger Things or Squid Games. They just do 3 to 4, 5 seasons, and like it's like that's it. That's it. Like no more, no more milking it. It's done, and it's like good lord, like the fans are like, we wanted more. And then you have other TV shows like Supernatural and Walking Dead uh that get like 11 seasons, and it's like the fans are like, yeah, like I dislike this, it really just depends. um I heard about that too. My sister is so excited. For what, Mally? And also, thanks for coming. I appreciate that. God bless you. Thank you. God bless you too. Squid Game season 2 was goated for real. Grew up in the 2010s. Gravity Falls, Lab Rats, The Walking Dead. Yeah, that's cool. Gravity Falls, I heard that's great, and I did check it out. It's just not my thing personally. Lab Rats, I heard about it but never checked it out. I watched Kaleo and Thomas the Tank Engine Bryant when I was a little kid. Oh wow, that is old school, but that's interesting. Like, okay, like Kaleo, I never liked it, or I mean, like I never really checked it out, but I know I don't like it. And then Thomas the Tank Engine, I was never into it, but it was a big favorite with people I know. So yeah. To be fair and to be honest and fair, it's like race swapping Gwen Stacy and making her black when she's not black at all. Like, come on, Disney. I mean, like, yeah, like Walker Dead, like they made Mary Jane black. Like, it just happens in like in Disney. Like, I don't know. And here's one thing I'll say. I like seeing diverse characters in a story, whether it's Walking Dead or Spider-Man, whatever. But one thing I'll say is when you race swap characters, it's racist. When you make characters, now not every time, like Nick Fury being black in the MCU, it's not racist to make him. It wasn't a big deal when he went from white to black in the MCU, because they got an actor that was perfect for the role, and there wasn't an agenda with it. And also, um, Nick Fury is such a minor character in the comics that you can make him black, and it just works. Now, when you take a character like Rick Grimes, like imagine this, guys. Imagine if like The Walking Dead gets rebooted in the future and they decide to make Rick black. Like, would you guys like that? No. And I wouldn't like it if they made Tyrese or Michonne white. You know what I mean? It's just simply based on the fact that you just can't do it. Like, you just cannot take you cannot take massive characters and just change their ethnicity and just try to make it like, see, they're black, so that's cool. No, like that's not cool. Like, you can't do that. It just doesn't make sense, and it's stupid. The Walking Dead is well overdone these days. I will always cover it because of the year's history, but it's not really my main thing anymore. Yeah, I agree, Dan. You're definitely doing a lot more variety in terms of your channel, which I do like. It's just that, man, like, just I wish we can like talk about something Walking both enjoy. You know what I mean? Like with Daryl Dixon, like it's like, but I don't think either of us want to talk about that. And then when it comes to um, Dead City, like neither of I don't want to talk about that. You know what I mean? So it just really depends. I heard that there were going to be a new Honey I Shrunk the Kids movie from Disney, and now it's canceled. Huh, I never heard about that, David. Interesting. The Walking Dead doesn't need another reboot, especially when my reboot series exists now right now. Yeah, I was just mentioning as a joke, Walker Dead, like, what if, maybe I'll disconnect that. Yeah, that was a total joke, Walker Dead. I just meant, like, with, what I'm trying to say is that in stories, you can't just race swap people. Black Panther should not be white. Rick and Michonne should not be race swapped ever. Michonne should and Tyrese like they should stay, and Morgan, like they should stay as black characters. They should not be made white. And then Rick and Glenn, they shouldn't be changed to be black or something. Like, ethnicities don't define a character, but it does fit the character. And when you change it, it just makes it seem like, oh, you didn't like their ethnicity. When you change a character to be a certain ethnicity, you're kind of telling the audience that we didn't like this character's ethnicity before. Stop watching The Walking Dead after they killed my Tara. Oh, wow. Yeah, I think I remember you maybe I remember you mentioning that. I'm looking more forward to blooper teams, likely Walking Dead game, that than I am any of the shows right now. To be honest, wait, I'm more looking forward to bloopers teams. I never heard that, Shook. What is that exactly? Like blooper teams, like a Walking Dead game. There's a new Walking Dead game that's coming out. You got to be kidding me, Shook. Like again, we just had Destinies, and we just threw up from Destinies. You know, like how much is gonna go on? You know. By the way, guys, I am streaming my voice on Discord, so if you guys wanna hop in, just let me know. Blooper Team remakes. Oh, made Silent Hill 2 remake. Oh, that's crazy. True Brian never understood the whole race swap fiasco. Yeah, it's bad. Are we getting the Wolf Among Us 2? Sadly, no, Dan. Fun fact: Ad Hoc, who was partnering with Telltale, they pulled out of the project, and it's just Telltale by themselves making the Wolf Among Us 2. So sadly, it looks like the Wolf Among Us 2 might be dead. It looks like it might be in a limbo. Unfortunately. And I don't blame Ad Hoc for leaving because Telltale was taking so freaking long to work on the game. You know, they announced a partnership with Skybound. They didn't specify Walking Dead, but they said it's a horror game. Yeah, Shook, it can't be Wolf Among Us because Wolf Among Us is not horror. So, yeah. Um, but okay, here, guys, if Telltale made a horror game, what would you want? What do you think they should do? Um, Telltale needs to break silence. So frustrating. So most likely Walking Dead. I don't know, Shook. I really don't think so. There's nothing really they could do for a season 5. Like for example, I have absolutely no issue with Nick Fury being black. Like you said, Brian, Nick Fury works, but Disney race swaps Norman. It doesn't work. It makes no sense. Yeah, I agree. Dom DeBomb made a video saying he gave up on Tales. That's how bad it's getting with Telltale. Yeah, I saw that, Mega Matt. Same. I can't anymore. Like I was looking forward to The Wolf Among Us. First off, The Wolf Among Us Season 2 was supposed to come out last year. Like, I am so pissed at Telltale. Like AMC, as much as I give AMC crap, at least they didn't go under. At least AMC didn't go bankrupt. Telltale is right now, it's on the brink of bankruptcy a second time. Like, think about that for a second. Can you guys believe that? It is literally almost bankrupt again. Like, it's just pathetic, Telltale. Like, come on. It's not season 5. They're doing their own thing. Huh. Interesting. Are they doing Extinction? I'm kidding. We have Telltale season 5. It's called Clementine Lives. Oh, wait. Oh, Dan, please. Oh, please don't mention that. Abomination. Like, yeah. Oh, my goodness. Good Lord. Clementine Lives. Yeah, that's coming out this year, chapter 3. Good Lord. You guys got your bleach ready? You know? Cause oh, excuse me. Yikes. That story is just so bad. Oh, if you guys didn't notice, Transformers 1 and 2 by Michael Bay are some of my favorite movies of all time. The third one, not so much. I mean, I like the third one too, but I love Transformers 1 and 2 from Michael Bay. Love them with a passion. Like, there's some of my favorite movies of all time. Like, say what you want about Michael Bay, but he did those first 2 movies spectacularly. Even if we don't get a Wolf, at least we get to look forward to. I hear what you're saying, Walker Dead, but sadly I don't care. Like, I just don't want Grand Theft Auto 6. Like, I just don't care because, like, this is Grand Theft Auto 6, you know? It's like, but we can't even get a second Wolf game. Like, you know what I mean? It's so rough. And not just that, but, like, we have waited a decade for this game, and Telltale promised us. We've waited a decade, and Telltale promised us for, like, 6 years we're going to get the game. It's like The Ones Who Live, except AMC actually gave us something with Rick and The Ones Who Live and the CRM. Now sure, it wasn't the best, but they give us something. You know, it satisfied us. So yeah. Meanwhile, with The Wolf Among Us, they don't give us anything. Like, it's so frustrating. Like, I've supported Telltale so much, and I'm just so done. I'm excited to review book 3. Gonna be a good roasting, and I'm gonna burn the books. LOL. That's funny, Shook. Oh man, that's funny. You won't review Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, which is like a lot of people's favorite anime movie of all time, but you were going to self reading the third book of Clementine Lives and then burn it and then tell us everyone to stay away from this book. Like, don't read this book. Oh man, if they kill Clementine, man, I swear it's still not canon, but I don't want that visual. Yeah, I agree, Dan. I totally agree with that. Um, I don't think they will because, as you all know, Tilly Wallen self-inserted herself to be with Clementine, and I don't think she would have her cameo character, her self-insert, lose Clementine. I don't think she would, if I had to guess. At this point, they might as well. Oh, well, what else is left? Joke, I got my firewood ready to burn the. Yeah, that's good, Walker Dead. That's hilarious. Me and Dan are going to play Grand Theft Auto 6 day one. The hype is real. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be massive this fall. Ah, man, fall? That's long away, though. We can't get Wolf 2 because Telltale can't even deliver on what they promised us. Yeah, unfortunately, that's true, Walker Dead. They can't. Which sucks, you know. Because they had to get the Expanse, like the stupid space game. Like, if you guys like the Expanse TV show, that's fine, but I like me and a large percent of the audience didn't want the Expanse season 1. Like, we wanted Wolf season 2. You know what I mean? And it's just ridiculous. I think Grand Theft Auto 6 is gonna get delayed. LOL. Shook. If that happens, man, people are gonna be pissed. I'll say that. I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't know. Do you guys think video games are getting better, or do you think they're getting worse, guys? Because, like, there's just been so much. There's been a lot of problems with video games, but then also sometimes they get a gem once in a while, but then sometimes they don't. Like, some people don't like Marvel Spider-Man 2. I disagree with that. I still think it's a great game. I don't think it's one of the best games ever made, but I think it's good, really good. You know what I mean? But you get, like, certain games just get delayed, and then it's like, I don't know. Let's see, Expanse. The Expanse games aren't that great in my opinion. Well, yeah, I totally agree, Dan. Like, the season 1 Expanse game, it's not good. Like, if it's not like Halo or something, like, you know, you can't really do a space game, or God forbid, Dead Space. If it's not a game like that, you just can't do a game set in space. Like, space is just not a. Telltale, simply put, just doesn't have it in them, you know? They never should have touched the space story. Like, they never should have, you know? Yeah, I agree, Shook. I can't do it because it's approximately a PC game. Depends on the game. I say graphics are better these days, though. Yeah, that's true. Except for Destiny's. Except for Destiny's. Delay is better than bad. I don't care about delays at this point. In fact, I support it. I'd rather take that time and make it good. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Shook. But for example, like, wasn't Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League? Wasn't that delayed? And we saw how that turned out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the delay didn't help it at all. Oh, by the way, I saw Sonic 3. Fun fact, guys. I got to see Sonic 3 with Shadow. And yeah, I'll admit, Keanu Reeves did a good job as Shadow. He did a pretty good job. Halo is a W Expanse game, isn't it? Yeah, I agree with that, Mega Man. Like, Halo is like the epitome of space games. Like, I mean, even though the show and stuff didn't do great, like, Halo got rumored movies. It got a TV show. It got, like, animated stuff. It got, like, Halo has such a strong fan base. Expanse, though, I don't think it really does. It's not enough. Grand Theft 6 is going to be on next gen consoles. Really, Walker Dead? I might have a chance to play it then. I saw Sonic 3 as well. Absolutely loved the movie. Yeah, I think it was good. I think it was good. Was it better than 2? Yeah, I think it was better than 2. There was only one thing, though. I think, I don't want to spoil it, but the part of the movie where you think something bad happened, I think they should have went all the way, like, with that scene. Like, make us cry. I think that's one thing I'll say about the movie. There's a scene where you think something happened, and you think they're gonna literally go for it in that scene, you know, and then it's just like, nope, doesn't happen. And it's like, really, you guys had to pull your punches, like, you know what I mean? Um, don't worry, I think, well, yeah. Right. Let's see. Yeah, and by the way, guys, thanks again for with me. Really appreciate it. I hope I sound okay. By the way, let's see. Do you think The Last of Us 2 would do a good job? Oh, right. Um, I mean, I'm not confident in the actors 100%. Like Bella Ramsey, you know, like I said, I think Bella Ramsey is an okay Ellie. Like I don't think she's the worst Ellie ever. But to do Last of Us 2 Ellie, like, ugh, it's gonna be rough. But I do think here's what I'll say, Dan. If and I'll just spoil this, I guess. Um, if they don't make Abby, here's one thing I'll say. I think they'll make it slightly better, Dan, in a way, because we're not as attached to Joel as we were with Game Joel. And I think that the TV show might tone down the violence a little bit. As far as, here's one thing I'll say: The Last of Us 2 went a little far. When Alice and Mel died, that was a bit too much. Like I was sick to my stomach. And then they assassinated Tommy's character in the game at the very end. Like, and it's just one of those things where, and also the game really failed on making us connect with Abby. Like the voice actor did a great job, but Abby as a character is trash because she doesn't really she doesn't really reflect on herself that much as a character. And like I said, just the way certain things end up, she doesn't really, yeah, like, yeah, she loses her friends, but we don't really care because we're like, we don't care about her friends. We don't care about her. They weren't good people. She's not a good person. I don't know. It's just, I definitely think they need to work on that. But I think that they will follow the games mostly, but I think they'll make some improvements. Um, the thing is, though, season 2 and 3 have to be about the game, so I wonder how that's gonna work. But I think yes, Dan, I do think they will do a pretty good job adapting um, the second game because obviously the second game's writing is really bad. Like you know what I mean? Like but even though the second game still has a lot of positives, like Last of Us 2 still like looks fantastic and all that, but it's just the writing was a serious problem. Not a fan of Last of Us 2. Don't think I'm going to review season 2 unless there's something else on that I want to review. Yeah, I understand, Shook, and that's cool. I'm sorry. I just think back to all the times you reviewed Fear for completion. Sorry, I just that's so funny. It's like, man, like you know, Last of Us 2, like is a no, but Fear, you know, that's an unfortunate must. Like, um, yeah. Um, by the way, guys, I'm gonna say this too. In my head canon, I truly don't believe Morgan is alive. Like, that's one thing I'm gonna say. I don't think Morgan and Rick are ever going to have a reunion. That's one thing I just want to say. Um, because well, I could name 100 million billion reasons, but basically is um you know, like I don't think they're ever gonna do. I don't think they can get Andrew Lincoln and Lenny James to come back for a story. Like there's just nothing that they can do. You know what I mean? I think Morgan is just how he ended in Fear. I just think that he's done with Lenny James is done with the character and done with AMC. You know, I think he wants to work with Andrew Lincoln again, but I don't think he wants to come back as Morgan. Is what I'm saying. Like I could see him and Andy working on something in the future, but not Walking Dead related. Fear level bad is good content from you. Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. You gotta like satisfy the hateful customers, right? Um, you know, for Fear, you gotta satisfy the people who hate Fear with a passion. Mhm. Let's see. And watching season 2 of Last of Us TV show is just going to be a copy paste of Last of Us 2. Plus, we all know the TV show is going to die. Made it too obvious in the teaser. Yeah, I know. Walker Dead. The thing is, though, just because certain things might be a little obvious doesn't mean it can't still be good in some way. Joel dying, even though I was pissed about it, it still makes a lot of sense to do it because Joel dying does make sense in a story where it's like, this is the Last of Us world, and not everyone was gonna make it. You know what I mean? But and also it does in a way lead into the story, for the second game, and it makes us feel like Ellie. The problem with it is that they wanted to show the cycle of revenge is bad and all that, but the thing is they did a poor job with it because we don't care for Abby. We don't feel for dad died or her friends died, whatever. The only time where it got a little bit too much was when Ellie killed Mel and Alice. Like, that's when it was just too much. Oh, hey, Lion King.
Hello?
What's up?
How's it going?
All right. I got about an hour left in the stream. Oh, all right. Gonna get some dinner. Peace out, everyone. All right, Shook. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate you stopping by. And yeah, enjoy your food. Enjoy your night, man. Take care. So hey, man, what's up?
You were talking about Abby a few minutes ago from The Last of Us.
Yeah. Um, I just think, simply put, like, The Last of Us wanted to The Last of Us 2 wanted to show the cycle of revenge is bad, but they did a poor job with it because we don't care for Abby or her friends, and we we see how the cycle of revenge is bad on Ellie's side, but we don't see how it's bad on really Abby's side. Like, yeah, she loses her friends and all that, but it still doesn't like work. It doesn't fit. They assassinated Tommy's character. And like you know what I mean? Like, it's just a bunch of things that I just think the game messed up on. You know what I mean? Like Joel dying and Abby killing him, even though I hated that, we're supposed to hate it, which makes sense and works. But the problem is how they just do it with Ellie's character, where she decides that she cares more about killing Abby and this and the revenge, and they really portray that Ellie was the bad one. And then we're finally about to kill Abby. We come across her again, and then all of a sudden we see this entire other game on Abby's side, and even when we play throughout the entire half of the game as Abby, we still don't feel for her as a character. We just want the game to be over with. Because literally, we played 2 games now. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I just think that it doesn't work.
I think the problem with that game is like one big thing about that game is it made everyone turn on Neil Druckmann.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely think so. And here's the thing, though. Obviously, it's his story he created. Um, but like, okay, so like, here's the thing, though. When Abby killed Joel, we were pissed, but it made sense in terms of this is the Last of Us and all that. The problem, um, and here's the thing, though. You should only criticize the creator if it not. You don't criticize the creator when it's like, oh, you killed someone I didn't want you to kill, or you did something. If the writing doesn't fit, then you can criticize the writer. But if it does fit, then that's where I say that the criticizing, Neil Druckmann is incorrect. It's wrong, because look what happened with the fans. They sent death threats to the voice actress for Abby, and this, you know what I mean. So it's definitely blown out of proportion. But what I will say is that yes, Neil Druckmann did mess up on certain areas with The Last of Us 2, and he definitely should have worked harder in those areas. Um, so that like, after losing Joel, it wouldn't be so, you know what I mean, like, terrible. And like, and I get it, the game is supposed to be depressing, but The Last of Us is a story about how even in depressing moments, this whole game, which was depression, there's still a little bit of goodness in the game. There's still a little bit of hope, good moments. Like, that's the thing, you got to sprinkle in some joyful moments in the game, and you need to show that there's something there, that despite the fact, Last of Us 2 ended very bitter, whereas Last of Us 1 ended very bittersweet. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I think the game messed up on. By ending it bitter, like we played this long game, wanted to kill Abby for killing Joel, and then the game just ends in a bitter way. And I think that's some of the problems I have with it. You know what I mean? I'm not saying we need a happy ending. What I'm saying is Neil Druckmann missed his own message with this is how the world is. It's very brutal, but there's those little moments of joy, and at the end of the game, you get a bittersweet resolution where you realize the world is beautiful, it's complicated, it's ugly, and that's why, but that's the world, you know what I mean? Whereas, like I said, the game ended in a very bitter way.
Because me personally, I'm not gonna lie, like the whole finding a cure at the end of the first game, in my opinion, like me personally, like why on earth would they want to find a cure anyways? Like most of the remaining humans in that world are so brutal and savage and ruthless. Like why would you want to find a cure for that? Like look at what humanity has turned into.
Right. Well, I mean, to be fair, I think it does make sense to want a cure. Like, I personally think it does because with a cure, if someone gets bit by an infected or spores, they could, treat themselves or whatever. You know what I mean? So I understand that.
Well, I was just making a point that to me personally, humanity in the world of The Last of Us isn't worth saving just because of how ruthless, brutal, and savage everyone has turned into. You
Right.
know?
But I don't think that's the message of Last of Us. It's that even though people are brutal and messed up, there's those little moments where you see joy in people, where you see something to fight for. I think that's the message of Last of Us. It's people are evil, but they're also make things enjoyable, interesting, and all that. So that's what Joel realized with Ellie. He realized it wasn't about how evil people are. Joel realized that Ellie was his. He didn't replace Sarah with Ellie. He realized the connection he had with Ellie was giving him some hope in this messed up world, and he decided that it was worth more than a cure. So that's the message of Last of Us. It's that the world is brutal, it's messed up, it's all this and that, but the connections you make with those good people that you meet, that you survive with, it means a lot. It meant so much for Joel, he decided to take Ellie away. And to be fair, here's one thing I'll say. People say that no, that Joel took away the cure, and it's like, well, yes, but also there's the fact that Marlene totally screwed him out of the deal. Let's remember the whole point of the beginning, the whole reason the Last of Us game even happened was because Joel and Tess, they did so many jobs for Robert and all that, and that guy, and he owed Marlene, so he did a favor for. I think he did a favor for her, but he screwed over Tess and Joel because he owed them a favor. And then Marlene said, "Okay, you guys do me this favor, and you'll get those guns back, or whatever." And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, um, you know what I mean? And then at the end of the game, what like they had Joel leaving the hospital at gunpoint, and it's like it wasn't just about obviously it wasn't just about the deal anymore, the guns, but part of me was just thinking like, yeah, you can't really deny that Marlene is screwing Joel over big time at the end. In either versions, you can't really deny that. Um, you know what I mean? So, but yeah.
And by the way, season one of the show was not my preferred version of the story.
Oh yeah, same. Season one just had like no zombies. Like the amount of zombies in season one, like yikes. Like, how about some zombies like The Last of Us? This is a zombie game, Where's the zombies?
Like funny thing, like how we like complain about The Walking Dead a ton. At least The Walking Dead main show did deliver on the zombies.
It did. It did, but obviously, as we both unfortunately know, they focused way too much on zombies. And what I mean by that is with season 9, 10, 11, and the spin-offs, there should not be this many zombies. There really shouldn't. Like that's just some.
Especially season 6. That was like the Walker season or the zombie season.
Well, you get what I'm saying.
Hmm.
No, no. You get what I'm saying, right, man? In the spin-offs, in the ones who live, and Daryl Dixon, and Dead City, and the Tales episodes that are in the future, there should not be this many zombies left. You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah,
what were you
yeah.
saying?
What I'm saying is, The
Hmm.
Walking Dead in the later seasons, there not should not have been so many zombies.
Okay, like you have a point. Like unlike the comics, like the comics near the end just got rid of the zombies.
Right,
You
exactly.
know?
And that's going yeah, I agree. The zombies go away. The zombies go away in the comics of forever. I mean, not obviously people who reanimate still become a zombie, but I'm talking about the zombies that overran the entire world since day one of the outbreak. All of those zombies are gone. So to me, that tells me that hey, the zombies are not going to live forever. Now, obviously, people will die and become zombies, but it shows that hey, people will still they can have kids, and all the zombies from day one, they're all dead, and they just need to manage their every time someone dies. They just need to make sure that person doesn't start an outbreak or whatever. So it's just one of those things where it's like it was very hopeful. The comics ended with Rick's death, but it ended also by getting rid of the zombie threat. Now, they didn't get rid of zombies, they got rid of the zombie threat. And to me, that made the comic very interesting at the end because it showed that humanity was going to survive. It was going to keep going. Whereas with the TV universe, it's still up in the air about whether or not the human race will be extinct. Like with the TV universe, there, because like I don't know, like what happened to the Commonwealth and the Earth, like it's just so much that doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the
So,
TV universe
so
with the variant zombies, like there's just so much where people are like, okay, hey, what is the future of the AMC universe? Well, what's gonna happen? Like I don't know. It gets kind of confusing. Yeah, go ahead.
so do you think at some
What?
I said, do you think that at some point AMC just stopped caring about the Walking Dead comics?
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
I'm not sure when exactly, but they definitely did. I just don't know when. You know what I mean?
Well, like me personally, I think it was at Carl's death.
That was a big part of it. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I mean that was a huge deviation from the comics, obviously.
Yeah. Exactly. That told. Well, obviously there's a billion problems with that, but it basically said that hey, Carl is not going to. His story is not going to result in the end of the comics. Like it told me that AMC didn't want. It's just so weird because they literally killed their future. Like Carl is the future of the Walking Dead story. Like that's the thing. Rick is he's the face of the Walking Dead. He's the guy. but Carl's the legacy. He's the future. So when AMC, like, it's just so ironic that AMC killed Carl because literally that's basically like AMC killed its own future with The Walking Dead, and it's just so weird. You think Rick? Hey, Bleeding Edge Studios. Do I know you? Do you think Rick will return? I don't think so. Sadly, I just don't see Rick ever returning in the Walking Dead universe. Like, I mean, if you guys disagree, that's fine. But I just personally don't think that Rick is ever going. Andrew Lincoln and Rick are ever going to. Um, I just don't think so. I don't think Rick is sadly is coming back to the Walking Dead universe because, I mean, what's going to happen? What's the story going to be? There's nothing. The CRM are good now. The Commonwealth, like, you know what I mean? Like, Andrew Lincoln wants to be done. Like, he's done last time I checked. So I just don't see how Rick could ever return in the Walking Dead universe. I sadly just don't see it. So yeah, I just really don't see it happening. Um, it's been almost a year now since The Ones Who Live started and ended, and there's still nothing from Andrew Lincoln. There's still nothing so far. So to me, I just really don't think that Andrew Lincoln is coming back to the franchise. I really just don't think so.
Kind of stating a lot how you feel that General Beale's son is going to kill Rick in the show universe.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I truly believe it. Because like he's out there. Like none. Like did people think Sebastian was gonna kill Rick like he did in the comics? Did people think that was gonna happen? Like, no, not really, right? But it happened. You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna say, like Mason being the one to kill Rick, there's just so much there. I mean, not like in my opinion, it's more set up than Morgan ever seeing Rick again in the franchise because there's a couple things. One is Scott Gimple completely forgot that Mason is out there, that he's real, that he's alive, that you know what I mean. Also, Mason Beale is also very smart. You know, he's a very smart character. So it's probably not going to take robot science to find out that, you know, for him to find out that Rick killed his father. Um, and then also, some people might bring up motives, right? Well, one is that Rick obviously killed his father. That's one thing. And two, I don't know. I truly don't think everyone could just believe that the CRM are.
Hello?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I agree that that General Beale's son is still out there.
Right. He's still out there. And the Walking Dead universe cannot just ignore him. It just can't be like, oh, we forgot Mason Beale exists. He's out there. Like, no, there has to be a logical reason for it in the story, and this is the only logical thing I could see. Rick, here, there's other reasons too. In Dead City timeline, which is in the future, where is Rick? Why is Maggie gone from Hilltop? Why is Maggie gone from the Virginia area? Why? There's so much there. Like, what happened? And the only thing I could see, like, if Rick is alive in Dead City's timeline, then it makes Maggie look even worse as a character and as a person. But also, it makes Rick look terrible too, because it's like, what is he doing? Like, what is he doing as a character? And I'm not saying that he needs to solve Maggie's problems for her, but the CRM are apparently good now. And it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, what is Rick doing in this Dead City timeline? If Rick is dead in the Dead City timeline, it's gonna suck for a lot of people. I know this, Dan included, you know, but it makes a lot of sense. Rick being dead in the Dead City timeline, it just makes the Walking Dead universe feel so much darker. But it makes sense because that's literally what Dead City is. Dead City feels like something bad happened in the Walking Dead universe after Rick came back and Maggie is no longer there. You know what I mean? It just explains a lot. Like, even though they didn't say it, even though they didn't confirm it, I just, if Rick is alive and he's been in home this whole time, why did Maggie leave? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't work. Mason, and also another reason is I truly just don't think Rick can escape his comic fate. Some characters obviously escape their comic fates, like Morgan and Ezekiel, but even then, it's like, I don't know. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, there are so many characters in The Walking Dead that didn't die the same way as the comic, but there's still a lot of characters in The Walking Dead that couldn't escape their comic fate or getting some version of their comic death. Rick dying at the hands of Mason Beale, it just feels like something the show universe. I just don't see it. I don't see that never happening to Rick. I just don't see a future where that doesn't happen to Rick. I just really don't.
Oh, by the way, I thought it was fake at first because like I saw that new poster for Zootopia 2 with Nick and Judy under that china. Like I thought that was fake at first, but apparently that's a real poster.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I noticed that too. I cannot wait for the movie.
Uh,
I think because they're advertising it to China, they're gonna release the movie
no.
in China. I mean, obviously it's gonna come out for us, but you know, uh, it makes sense. Like if Disney lets China watch Zootopia as well, then they'll make a lot of money, which obviously is important. Um, because because they need to hit the $1 billion in sales. You know what I mean? Maybe 2 billion. Who knows? It depends.
Yeah.
Let's see. Where am I? All right, still nothing in
But
the
like,
chat.
yeah, I definitely do agree that The Last of Us problem zombies.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm not saying we need like giant herds like in The Walking Dead, but it would be
Well,
nice to get a
I mean,
lot.
I think the most zombies we saw in that entire season was like the one with the bloater. I think that was the most amount of zombies we saw.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, and that was just too. That wasn't enough. That was too little, and it's just one of those things that like I'm okay with mixing things up where you're like, hey, listen, okay, we're gonna do the bloater and stuff. They're gonna be at different times. I'm okay with mixing up things like that. That is fine. But I definitely think that, like the game, like for example, what was her name again? Like the Karen chick, the villain. Like she was a villain for like 2 episodes. You know what I mean? Like there's certain moments like that where I'm like, list story on the city that they're in. But I hate this villain. I'm like, come on, this is like fear level bad. You know?
That villain was terrible.
Yeah. Like I didn't care for her. I didn't care about her motives. Like, it's like give me a break.
Like
Like,
the funny thing is, like her main goal was to take down like whatever, well, like organization she was trying to take down, but in the end, she was the exact same way.
right. And to be fair, I understand that that's a very human thing, hypocrisy. But when you're trying to make a good villain, you don't really want them to make him a hypocrite. You don't really want to do that. That is a bit of a problem at times. And and then also it's like I said, I didn't care about her and her brother. I didn't care about that. It's just one of those things where I'm like, yeah, you're right. She literally overthrows Fetra with her people. Like I don't even understand how. She doesn't even seem like a strong, capable leader at all. Like like she had nothing to her as a character that shows she's a strong, capable leader. But whatever. And then, um, like she chose not to warn her people about the bloater and infected breaking through, and they died, all of them, including her. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like she literally died because she was just stupid. Like, that's not how you want to do a villain. Like, like I get that, like, not everyone can create a good villain, in stories, but like, especially for like but for 2 episodes, man, like you're gonna do a villain for 2 episodes, like come on, at least give us something, more than that.
And the fact that she also tried to kill like sure, Henry turned in her brother, which got her brother killed. But I mean, he was doing that to save his brother.
Right. And obviously it's understandable she would be pissed, but she is trying to murder him. She's going through so many things. She's murdering other people, whatever. And it's like, what the heck are you doing? Like, you're crazy. And then she even says, like, oh, kids die all the time. Like, she's basically saying, like, oh, I have no problem with killing your brother or whatever. It's like you're a psycho lady, and you're not even the good kind of psycho. Like, you're the psycho of you're a hypocrite, like, kind of character where you just care about revenge. And don't get me wrong, revenge is a good motivator for a lot of villains. I like revenge and stories too for villains, but when you do it to way the character is delusional and is a complete hypocrite and they don't see it, and all they do is talk, and like it just makes the villain like so boring and uninteresting and lame, because like I said, there's nothing interesting about her as a villain or as a character. Like, it's just lame. She's petty. She's angry. She wants to make them pay for what happened with her brother, and it's just like, oh, okay, that's it. And she's a hypocrite. Like, she's also not. I don't know. It's just really frustrating. Um,
Because, like, yeah, I still remember, like, 2023 when you reviewed that season. I just remember you can stand her.
yeah, she was lame.
But yeah, like I said, okay, like that season is not my preferred version of the story. Okay, like episode 3 of that season, the freaking Bill and Frank romance, like that was one of the worst episodes I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I love how some people might be like, "Oh, is that because you're homophobic or something?" And it's like, no, I just don't want my. No, it's because this is not entertainment. It's garbage. Listen, having gay characters in a story, that I have no problem with that. That is the problem is when you make a whole episode, when you have like 9 episodes in a story. I paid for HBO Plus. When I paid to watch two guys sleeping together, I did not pay for that. I paid for a fantastic story. That's what I paid for. So excuse me as the customer for complaining about this product I didn't like. You know, because yeah, it is one of the worst episode. It is the worst episode of Last of Us. In the show, and it's one of the worst episodes of TV I've seen, because people say they love it. It's a masterpiece because it talks about their love and stuff. And I don't care about Bill and Frank's love. I don't care. I don't give a crap about that. Bill's character was about not trusting people. Okay, his problem was he was out. He was kind of crazy. That was the problem with Bill. He didn't trust people. He had issues. But the whole episode, watching a whole episode where he's, him and Frank gets busy and stuff, like, no, like, gross. I don't want to see that. Okay, their love, their relationship, they can do it off screen. I don't need to see it. Okay, I'm here for amazing storytelling, great character dynamics, action. Last of Us. You know what I mean? Like, Infected. Like, that's what I'm here for. Okay, not whatever the heck this is, because this is not quality television. This is just two gay guys in like a story. Like that. That's not what I paid for. I paid for Last of Us. Okay.
And like sure in the game Bill did survive, but like sure in the game he survived, but we never did end up seeing him again. But apparently he's still alive in the game universe.
True. I mean, I guess it could make sense that they killed him off because we were never going to see him again. Like that's the thing too. Even in the game universe, like whatever happened to Bill, but like still, it wasn't even just oh Bill died or whatever. It's just like I said, and Bill like it wasn't even anything like the game. Okay, in the game you come across Bill like how he is in the flashbacks. You know what I mean? That's the thing about Bill. You come across him when he's in the flashbacks. Like it's so dumb. Like the game's implied that Bill and Joel had history. Like you get the sense that they knew each other for a long time. But no, it turns out in the freaking show Bill literally stayed in this town for 20 years and not a single person except Frank came to this town with him except Tess and Joel who just stopped by. But you get what I'm saying, right? Like it just doesn't make sense at all. That's like in the games, it makes sense how Bill is the way he is. A lot of it makes sense. The show though, it just did it so stupid. Where it turns out these two gay guys are drinking wine and like no, I don't care about that. That is not The Last
And
of
also,
Us.
one thing about the game I never understood is I never understood why Joel hides Tess's death from Bill. Like when Bill asked Joel where's like Tess or what happened to her, he doesn't. Joel doesn't tell Bill that Tess died. You know, like I never understood that.
Well, I think it's a lot of reasons. One is he doesn't want to talk about it. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to talk about it, so he
Mm.
lied. I mean, obviously, I mean, like this was established well in um in the game. Joel has serious problems with opening up as a character. You know what I mean?
I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
But I will admit, yeah, like I mean, Joel wasn't even perfect in the first game. Like Joel was, you know, um, like I get Sarah's death was traumatizing and brutal, but
Like
it's
I'll
been
admit
20
that
years.
Joel in the show, his version of Joel feels way more softer than the game Joel did.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely, and he definitely does. Which, like I said, I don't have a problem with adapting characters a certain way, but I do think that yeah, in terms of Pedro Pascal was not the right guy to play Joel. Like I'm sorry, but it's true. Like he just wasn't the right guy for it, you know?
Yeah, I can see that because, like I said, he was definitely way too soft as Joel. I'll admit that.
Yeah, I agree. Hey guys, do you have any last minute questions? If the chat, I'm going to be ending the stream soon if we don't get any more questions. Um,
Like, I mean, how do you feel the fact they made TV or the show Joel way more softer than the game version?
I didn't like it, but I was willing to give it a chance. Like I said, he's just an okay Joel, but yeah, like I'm gonna say it, like Joel in the game, he is an alpha, but Joel in the show, he definitely seems more of a beta kind of character. You know what I mean? Um, yeah,
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? Like it's just not the same, and I get it. Translation is not always easy, but it just feels like they casted Pedro because he's famous. Fun fact: Pedro Pascal is in the Wild Robot. Did you know that? DreamWorks movie.
I'm guessing he voiced the fox.
Yes. Yeah,
Well,
he did.
like again,
But
I find
that
it
works.
interesting how we've been seeing so many Wolf and Fox characters lately.
Right. Well, to be fair, I think because Hollywood and Disney and DreamWorks, they know that fans love, these characters. They're very interesting, relatable, adorable. Like, you know what I mean? After the success of Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, it's just, I'm pretty sure immediately DreamWorks started working on the Wild Robot, and you know what I mean, and then also after Disney was constantly flopping with their movies, they probably decided, guys, we should do Zootopia 2 now. Like our movies are flopping like crazy, you know. So like, guys, we have a gold mine in Zootopia 2. Let's make that sequel.
I think you told me that they're trying to paint wolves and foxes in better light.
Yeah, at least more in media and stuff. But yeah. Oh, so dude, did you know that there's a new werewolf movie that came out last month?
Yeah,
Right, right. So I wanted to ask your opinion on that. Because you know what it
I
is,
haven't
right?
seen it.
Okay, right. But it's called Werewolves, and it's basically like one night a billion people just turn into werewolves, because the moon all of a sudden just randomly just turns it's a super moon or something, and they just out of nowhere have a mutation and they turn into werewolves, and then the movie takes place 1 year after that. You know what I mean? Um, I have two major problems with the movie. One is why. Well, actually, no. The first major problem is the werewolves look terrible. The design for the werewolves is garbage. That's one problem I have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the second problem is why are they having it take place 1 year after when it should take place that very night? Why not do the movie instead where we get to see the first night of, hey, people going to the grocery store or something, and it's lights out, or you get what I'm saying? It's the moon is shining and all of a sudden people are going to the grocery store, or they're going to parties or whatever, and all of a sudden the people that are outside just turn into the werewolves. Like the first time. Why have the movie take place a year later? Like that's so stupid. Because now it's like the characters know that the characters in the movie in the movie, they know that what it does. They know the danger they're in. Whereas if we got to see it in the past, we could have seen the reaction, that these people are turning. You know what I mean? It's so stupid.
And
It's
I
like,
think I heard about that. Another plot point in the movie was like they're trying to make like a cure or a pill or something that will like stop them from turning into werewolves or something. I think that's a plot point.
yeah, it is. But you get what I'm saying? Like, but I don't care about that. You know what I mean? It's those two things that I mentioned that I checked out the movie and it's terrible. Like those are the two big things that just make the movie terrible. One is, like I said, the designs and the placement of the movie. Like imagine if in The Last of Us, imagine if it shows imagine if Last of Us it shows Joel and Sarah and all that, and then it just cuts to where he wakes up 20 years later and they say that, oh, the outbreak and all this. Like, you know what I mean? Imagine that. Imagine if they cut out the scene where Sarah dies. Imagine they cut out the scene where in The Last of Us um where the infected start happening. That's like how the movie did it, which is so stupid. They cut out like humanity reacting to the end of the world. Like it was so stupid.
Interesting how DreamWorks have been on a roll lately with Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, The Wild Robot. Like their last two movies they released have been absolutely masterpieces. Whereas Disney, they keep on flopping.
Yeah. Disney did pretty good with Inside Out too. They did really good with that. But like yeah, like the Mufasa movie did terrible in the box office.
I heard globally it did actually pretty good. It made a lot of money internationally, I heard.
Right, but in America it did terrible, and the ratings for it were also not good. You know what I mean? But yeah,
So,
what were you
like,
gonna
yeah,
say?
it just makes me wonder what's been going on with Disney. Like I said, DreamWorks, like their latest movies they've released have been incredible, whereas Disney, they keep on failing.
Right, because DreamWorks they're not making the same movie again and again. You know what I mean? DreamWorks
Yeah.
they're not copying the same movie. And before anyone says, "Oh, Mufasa's not a copy," well, it's a story. It's not something people asked for. That's one thing. It's milking the franchise. That's one thing I'll say. Nobody wanted the Mufasa prequel. Nobody wanted that. Like nobody. So it's just one of those things where you can't blame
Yeah.
the fans for not liking it because it's something they didn't want. The fans didn't want it, you know? Yeah. All right,
So, like,
guys.
would you say the Wild Robot is on the same level as Puss in Boots: The Last Wish?
It is in terms of quality. When it comes to the villain, though, yeah, no, it's not even close. Like, it's fantastic. It's definitely rewatchable, like Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. But I definitely still think Puss in Boots is a better movie in terms of what I like to see as an adult. And also, like I said, the villain. I mean, you can't compete. You can't compare the villains, man. It's oh my goodness, you really can't. Um, hey man, hey guys, I'm gonna be ending the stream in a few more minutes. So if you guys have any last minute questions, go ahead and ask them. And after I end the stream,
And just, yeah, like I said, like I really loved and enjoyed Mufasa. Just me being honest, I love that movie.
yeah, that's
You know,
interesting. Because me personally, I didn't care for it. You know what I mean?
but then again, it's probably I'm probably being biased, okay? Because like I'm a big Lion King person, you know that.
Yeah,
So I might be being biased there, but you know that's just.
yeah.
But yeah, I definitely would like to check out the Wild Robot. Well,
Yeah, yeah, I heard you. Sorry.
uh,
Yeah, it's a really good movie, but like I said, it still isn't. It isn't better than. It's great, but like I said, there is one thing that holds back the Wild Robot, and that's the villain. Um, Puss in Boots obviously smokes, the villain in that, but I will say there's a lot there where it's like, okay, yeah, I can definitely see how, um, you know, still great. It definitely is still very heartwarming in a lot of areas. Interstellar is a great movie, probably my favorite movie of all time. Wow, that's crazy, Bleeding Edge Studios. I have seen Interstellar though. It's not my cup of tea, unfortunately, but it doesn't mean that it's not good. Like it's just simply not for me.
hey Brian.
Yeah.
So, in your opinion, why do you think so many? Because ever since that game got revealed, people have just been hating on it. Like that intergalactic, like that intergalactic game Naughty Dog revealed, around the Game Awards. Why do you think it's been getting so much hate?
I'm not sure because I haven't seen. There's a couple of reasons. One is I think it's because it's not Last of Us 3. That's one thing. Hold on, I'm disconnected. Hold on. Yeah. So I think there's a couple of reasons for that, man. Um, Okay, that was weird. I lost connection there for a little bit. You guys, hold on. So I think it's a couple things. One is the character designs. Like, some people said it's woke. I have no idea. But it is kind of weird that they're making it looks like the main protagonist is a bald um space woman. Like, she's Asian too. Like, um, is she a lesbian? Like, I have questions. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what, like, they're not I hope they're not trying to pander to a certain demographic, you know what I mean? Because like I said, the nationality and sexuality of the main character, that should not be something they focus on in the game. But I think like a couple of things, like I've looked at some of the character designs and they're just not that great, you know what I mean? Oh, there you are.
And me personally, I think it's also because, like I said, the last of it. Like I think some people just really don't like Neil Druckmann.
Yeah, that could be it too. Bleeding Edge Studios says Life is Strange is woke, but still a great game. Yeah, I don't understand the word woke. Well, woke means that it's like, oh, they woke up, like in a sarcastic way of, hey, they want everything, they want everyone, everything, every game, every show, every movie should have gay, lesbian, trans characters or black characters. Like, that's what woke means. When if you make Spider-Man, if you make Peter Parker black, that's woke. People say that's woke, and I agree with that. But meanwhile, like, you have Miles Morales, who is Spider-Man, but he's black. That is not woke because Miles and Peter are different characters. They're both Spider-Man, but they are completely separate characters. You know what I mean? Um, and I guess it kind of depends. Like, I personally don't know about the new game with Naughty Dog, but I will say that I'm not excited. There's a couple of reasons. One is I don't care about some stupid space game that Naughty Dog wants to make. It's just like, really, a space game? Like, I don't know why they think that people love space games. I don't like space games. I don't play space games. It's not for me. You know what I mean?
It's probably because of Star Wars and how big that series is.
Right, but you can't compete with Star Wars. That's one thing I'll say. Like, you can't, whether it's Naughty Dog or Telltale, you just can't. You can't compete with Star Wars. Like, just don't even try. Like, just focus on other stuff. You know what I mean? Just focus on different stories you want to tell. Don't try to say, hey, like, I want to do this. Like, I want to make a space game because it's popular. No, people love The Last of Us because it's a survival story. Like, and it's one that was never told before, minus the whole, like, with Lee and Clementine's story is like, from The Walking Dead season 1. That was like the first ever man raises a kid that's not his in a zombie apocalypse story. Whereas, I mean, look what happened with what's the next thing?
The Last of Us.
Right. Thank you. And then The Last of Us did it, and it was like, oh wow. Like, I mean, obviously it kind of came right after, but it was different. It was like, instead of Joel being nice to Ellie at the beginning, like Lee was for Clementine. No, Joel was very put off and very mean to Ellie at the beginning, but eventually he warmed up to her and changed as a character. You know what I mean? So, and now look at it. Everyone is doing the, hey, guy raises a kid that's not his in a zombie apocalypse. Um, Hey Dan, thanks for coming. New Naughty Day game looks trash. Not gonna lie though, I know what you mean, but I feel people overuse the word all the time, and I don't like people shove the pronouns and or sexuality in my face. But I get what you mean. Yeah, I agree. Bleeding Edge. Exactly. Like, Puss in Boots: Last Wish, Zootopia, um, they have messages, but it's not woke messages. Like, you can create a good story and you don't have a wokeness behind to it. And I do agree, woke is used a lot. Some people might say, "Oh, there's a gay character in this story." Fun fact: I believe even Zootopia has some gay characters, but it's not established or fleshed out. Um, So like fun fact, hey, you know Judy's neighbors?
Those two deer type dudes.
Right, right. It's been heavily implied. Well, they live together. We don't know if they're brothers or friends, or it's been implied they're in a relationship. And then some people also say that there's a theory going around that those two wolves, Gary and Larry, were also possibly gay. You know what I mean? We don't know. And also, there's a lot of people saying that Benjamin Clawhauser, in Zootopia, is also a gay character. You know what I mean? And that does not bother me. Like, I could see him being a gay character in that universe. I could see it. And it doesn't bug me because he's a minor character and I don't think it's woke. I don't think it's woke to have a story where some people are just gay, some and the majority are straight. I have no issue with that. But when you take a character and you are like, hey, listen, this is the character we're going to make you play as. It's going to be an Asian woman who's gay and she shaves her head. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is I hope that's not the thing with Last of Us. Not Last of Us. Sorry, with the new space game. You know what I mean? Because then it starts getting a little bit like, what is this? What are you trying to do? Um, Look at the new Spider-Man cartoon that's coming out. Peter's going to be the only white kid. Peter's going to be the only white character, white guy in the show. So that's what I'm saying where it's woke. That's when it's woke. When you have like Zootopia where it's like, yeah, there's a few gay characters, that's fine. But when you have a story where you're like, no, we're going to make everyone but Peter black, then that's woke. Okay?
And the funny thing is, I've even seen some people even say that Spider-Man 2 from 2023 is woke.
I will say there's a little bit here and there. Wait, Spider-Man from 2020. Oh, right.
It's
There's certain
Insomniacs,
moments.
but
I don't
yeah.
think it's woke. I don't think it's woke, but there are certain moments like that where it is a little bit questionable. But the Marvel Spider-Man 2, I don't think it's woke. I just think that there are some problems with it. And I will say there is one mission that was definitely woke. It's when, as Miles, you can help these two guys get a date or whatever. I will say that was woke, but that doesn't make the whole game woke. It's just one mission you cannot do. It's a mission that you don't have to do if you don't want to. But I will say that putting that mission was definitely ridiculous because it's not that, oh, Miles has some friends that are gay or whatever, or classmates. It's that this is freaking Spider-Man, and why is he going to help two guys hook up? It's stupid. He's a superhero. He should not be helping two dudes like eh, ask each other out. That's stupid.
And there is also a mission where you play as Miles' deaf love interest.
Yeah, here's the thing though. I don't have an issue with her as a character. I just think that yes, I definitely think playing as her was stupid. I definitely think because this is a Spider-Man game. Like, why are we playing as her? You know what I mean? It's a little bit silly. You know what I mean? We want Last of Us 3, not space, whatever. I agree. What they did to Joel was unforgivable. Our House was gay characters in show, but that's not the main focus. Really good story in the world. I heard about that Bleeding Edge. I heard that show's great. If they're trying to recast non-white characters, that would be outrage. So why the double standards for these snowflakes? If they were trying to recast non-white, yeah, exactly. If black characters are turned white, I will be upset with that too. You know what I mean? Like, don't change a character's nationality, their race. I don't want them changed. Now, in minor moments, it works. Like I said, Nick Fury, that can work because he's a minor character. Oh, race swap, not recast. Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Hey guys, one more minute, and I'm ending the stream. Um, so yeah.
Hey,
Um,
Brian.
yeah, go ahead.
So I feel the reason they had us play as Haley in that game was I feel they were trying to like give a response to all the times we've played as MJ and hey, we you play as MJ, Peter's love, now play as Miles.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I definitely think Marvel Spider-Man needs to fix on that whole who do we play as? Because like we don't want to play as normal human being characters. It's just a little bit silly. All right, guys, I'm gonna end the stream now. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Take care. Have a blessed night, and I'll see you guys for the next stream. I hope you guys have a great 2025. Stay safe, stay healthy, and yeah, enjoy this year, guys, because it's a whole year we got to do whatever we want. All right,
Hey
guys.
Brian, before you go, I just want to say that I am glad we're now in the year that Zootopia 2 comes out in.
Oh, same, man. Same. I am so glad. 11 more months, and we got it. All right, guys. I'll talk to you all later. Have a blessed night. Take care. Bye.